Let's go Broncos! Something big is brewing inside Dove Valley, and it might just change everything we thought we knew about the Denver Broncos heading into 2025. From surprising shifts in the depth chart to one rookie who's quietly becoming the heartbeat of this team, I've uncovered some insider details straight from training camp that you haven't heard anywhere else. And trust me, when you hear who's losing ground, who's rising fast, and what Sean Payton may be planning behind the scenes, you're going to have some strong opinions. The Broncos aren't just preparing for week one, they're building a new identity. There are key positions being quietly reshaped, major talent decisions being made, and a few shockers that might catch even the most plugged-in fans off guard. So before we go any further, hit that like button, but only if you're a real Broncos fan who bleeds orange and blue. And if you've been riding with this team through the highs and lows, comment below, go Broncos! We can make it to the Super Bowl. Now buckle up, because what's happening behind the scenes might be the beginning of a new era in Denver. The latest training camp has officially come to a halt, at least for now. Tuesday's session was the final practice before the much-anticipated joint sessions with the 49ers. But even with camp on pause, there's no shortage of storylines lighting up the Broncos' landscape. And one of the most eyebrow-raising? Jaquan McMillian. Is his stock quietly dropping behind the scenes? Last year, McMillian was poised for a breakout season. Statistically, he was impressive: 81 tackles for loss, 10 pass breakups, and 2 interceptions. That's not just solid, it's borderline Pro Bowl numbers for a nickel corner. But there's a shift happening, and it's one fans need to keep their eyes on. The emergence of rookie cornerback Jade Barron and the continued rise of Riley Moss have changed the trajectory of this secondary. According to everything we're seeing out of camp, Jade Barron, the Broncos' 20th overall pick, looks like the clear frontrunner to secure the starting nickel spot. The team didn't draft him that high to let him ride the bench. This kid's college tape was jaw-dropping. Explosiveness, field vision, recovery speed, Barron checks every box. He was hands down the best cornerback in the 2025 draft class, and it wasn't even close. So where does that leave McMillian? While there's no talk of a cut, it's starting to feel like McMillian might be the odd man out in the cornerback rotation. And for fans who were expecting a big year 2 from him, that could be a tough pill to swallow. Does this mean McMillian can't find a role on this team? Not necessarily, but the battle at nickel corner looks like it's Barron's to lose. And unless McMillian starts making a serious impression, he may find himself watching from the sidelines more than anyone expected. Now let's flip to the defensive line, where another question looms large. Where's Savion Jones? Drafted in the 3rd round, this massive, athletic defensive lineman was supposed to be one of the future cornerstones for Denver's front. And yet, silence. Very few mentions, hardly any buzz. He's been at every practice, suited up and ready, but you wouldn't know it from the headlines. That's concerning. Jones has the frame and college pedigree to become a real force on the defensive line, but the lack of early noise out of camp suggests he hasn't yet found his stride. It's possible that Sean Payton and the defensive staff are playing the long game here. Zach Allen and DJ Jones are locked in. John Franklin Myers, however, is in a more complicated spot, reportedly seeking a new deal. If the Broncos decide not to re-sign JFM, Jones might be his long-term replacement. But to earn that role, he'll need to show more. Strength, burst off the line, the ability to set the edge. We need to start hearing about those traits emerging. Right now, it's crickets. Another player drawing major attention, and for good reason, is tight end Evan Engram. Engram's arrival could be the single biggest key to unlocking Bo Nix's full potential. Think about the top quarterbacks in the league. Patrick Mahomes has Travis Kelce. Josh Allen has Dalton Kincaid and Dawson Knox. Lamar Jackson has Mark Andrews. Brock Purdy has George Kittle. Elite quarterbacks need a go-to tight end, and that's what Engram can become for Bo. No disrespect to Adam Troutman, but if he's your TE1, your offense is already limited. Engram brings athleticism, route running, and a dangerous presence in the middle of the field. Even in an injury-shortened 2024, Engram outperformed every Broncos tight end. If he's healthy, and all signs point to that being the case, expect him to be the focal point of the passing game. Look at last season's early down target distribution. Tight ends accounted for only 14% of the targets. Running backs, 22%. That's upside down. Flip that, bump tight end targets to 22%, lower the checkdowns, and suddenly your offense opens up. Play action becomes more effective, your run game finds more space, and Bo Nix has a reliable outlet to keep drives alive. It's a domino effect, and Engram could be the first piece. Last topic, and this one might stir up some debate, is RJ Harvey actually about to become RB1? This buzz started because ESPN released a way too early depth chart that slotted Harvey as RB1, raising a few eyebrows across Broncos country. But let's pump the brakes. J.K. Dobbins is the presumed lead back for week 1. He's experienced, proven, and fits Sean Payton's rotation-heavy backfield system perfectly. But here's the twist. Harvey isn't that far behind. If we're being real, a full 50-50 split by week 4 or 5 isn't just possible, it's likely. Harvey's youth and explosiveness bring a spark that could quickly earn him a larger share of touches. And depending on how Dobbins performs out of the gate, Harvey's window could open sooner than expected. Right now, it's a toss-up between Jaleel McLaughlin and Audric Estime for RB3. That spot is still fluid. But RB1 by October? Harvey could very well take it and never look back. And while you're thinking about that, let's keep the momentum going, because there's more to unpack about how these developing storylines could shape the Broncos' 2025 campaign. Let's circle back to Evan Engram and the impact he could have on Bo Nix. There's this overlooked detail in the Broncos' offensive structure that makes Engram even more crucial than people realize. Sean Payton's system has always thrived when it features a tight end who can exploit mismatches over the middle. Think back to his time in New Orleans. Jimmy Graham wasn't just a luxury, he was the focal point at times. That's the blueprint. Now, Engram might not be the same type of tight end Graham was, but the concept still applies. What we're likely to see is a shift in the route tree that favors Engram in intermediate zones, giving Bo Nix quick release options that also stretch the defense. That's something this offense lacked last season, a middle-of-the-field threat who could break off chunk plays. And if Engram can become that weapon, it won't just benefit Bo. It'll make life easier for Troy Franklin, Cortland Sutton, and the rest of the WR room. Safeties will be forced to respect the seam routes, linebackers will be pulled out of position, and that opens up explosive plays down the sideline. And let's not underestimate how important that is for Bo Nix's confidence. Young quarterbacks need rhythm. They need completions. Engram can be that rhythm setter. And if this connection clicks early, don't be shocked if he becomes a favorite target on third downs and in the red zone, places where this team struggled last year. This isn't just hype. This is a real opportunity for Engram to put up a career year and completely shift how Denver attacks defenses. Now, speaking of offensive rhythm, let's go deeper into the running back scenario, because this rotation is more complex than some fans might think. J.K. Dobbins, when healthy, is one of the most dynamic backs in the league. But that's the issue, health. Coming off multiple injuries, there's always going to be some concern. And that's where R.J. Harvey becomes more than just a change of pace guy. In college, Harvey displayed excellent balance, vision, and contact resilience. He's not just a speed guy, he runs with intent. The question was always whether his game would translate to the NFL level, and early indications out of camp are that he's adapting quickly. Coaches love his work ethic, and more importantly, his understanding of blocking schemes and pass protection is reportedly above rookie expectations. That's massive, because the moment Payton and the staff trust you in pass protection, your snap count increases. Period. Especially in a system that leans heavily on play action and shotgun sets. If Harvey continues to pick up the playbook and deliver consistent reps in practice, he's going to be on the field more and more. And if Dobbins shows even the slightest hesitation or durability issues, it won't be long before Harvey slides up the depth chart for good. Which brings us to a broader point about this offense. There's a youth movement quietly taking hold. Between Bo Nix, Jay Barron, R.J. Harvey, and potentially Savion Jones if he finds his footing, the future core of this team is being assembled in real time. That should energize Broncos fans. Sean Payton isn't just trying to patch together a playoff run, he's clearly trying to build something sustainable. But make no mistake, the margin for error is thin. The AFC is stacked, and every roster decision matters. That's why the silence surrounding Savion Jones remains so perplexing. If he really is being groomed as a potential replacement